So AJ, they said no more lockdowns, so to speak. They're not calling this a broad-based lockdowns. They're saying it's granular. But was this really necessary? Some are saying that this haven't really given the effects that they wanted, and that if you don't see increased contact tracing or testing anyway, it might not necessarily improve the situation. What is going on here?
I think many households and Filipinos are very confused as to where we are. But I think when the government decided to lift restrictions, for example, I think they were very overconfident, or they miscalculated the positive trend that we experienced later in the year. And really, the efforts to loosen restrictions failed because the government was not effective in implementing contact tracing, and a referral system for COVID-19 patients was not functional. So I think the government needs to provide resources for relief and social amelioration. I think a quarantine is necessary, and I think that's what the steps we need to take, given that we're reaching record high numbers again. We're reaching a second wave of this pandemic. The government needs to be very aggressive in its implementation of a quarantine to stop the spread of the virus.
You mentioned earlier on that we need ayuda for the MSMEs that will be hurt here, the jobs that were already, especially the tourism sector in Holy Week, which was supposed to be reopening na. Can we do this every time there's a lockdown? And has the government actually taken this into consideration? Do we have the funds to do this, especially as now we understand that it might not just be right now, it can actually keep on happening later on.
So the problem that we're facing now is, again, we keep coming back and forth to lockdowns, and your question is really, every time that we have a new lockdown, can we give a new round of ayuda, of relief? And I think the government needs to make sure that when we implement a lockdown, it's implemented as aggressively as possible, so that we don't keep going back and forth, so that this does not become a recurring problem. Second, I do think that we do need to provide social relief and social amelioration this time around. The last one came last year. So I think it's appropriate to have another round of social protection again this time.